The years 2020 and 2021 have been some of the toughest years in modern American history. With the ongoing tragedy of the pandemic and the political instability in our country, we wanted the voices of our generation to be heard.
Really stressed out and worried about the political climate of the country today.
It's been difficult. At the Capitol, I was watching on the news and it showed people wearing anti-Semitic clothing and it was scary.
As I saw the footage of what was happening at the Capitol, all that I could think about was about how this is real. It's scary that it's happening in our country.
The recent events in our world have shown me how much power the younger generation's voice holds, but yet also it has shown me how destructive and classist our leaders are. The recent events in our country have shown just how far the white supremacists will go to get their way, which is really scary, but it also shows how much advocacy our generation and how much fighting our generation will put out there to earn back rights, to get justice.
For the most part, yes, because I'm very middle of the road politically, but I do have some views that are more right-winged that I feel I wouldn't be comfortable sharing in front of certain people.
Yeah, because I've never personally experienced anti-Semitism.
I'm usually not the kind of person who would express my political views, but being a black male in America and feeling like I can't even really express myself, yeah, it's uncomfortable, so I don't feel safe.
I do feel safe publicly expressing my political views. I think my generation needs to speak up now more than they ever have needed to. I feel that we have power and we are seen as young and incapable, but I feel that we really are the future and we can make a difference.
Well, I had a drive-through high school graduation. I didn't get to go to college for the first semester, learned online. I work in a restaurant where I'm constantly having to wear a mask, dealing with regulations changing every other week. Just made it really hard. Mental health down the drain.
Yeah, so I couldn't go to my camp and see my friends, which was sad because it's the highlight of my year.
I think that ever since Corona started, it's had an impact on all of our lives in the sense that our lives just aren't the same as they used to be. And as someone who had Corona, it affects me. I wasn't able to see my friends for a while, in person. I had social media and FaceTime, but it just wasn't the same. And I wasn't able to work or just go out or do a lot of things.
COVID has changed my life in many ways, both negative and positive. I think at first I had a really, really hard time. I was alone, I was really depressed, and I was really scared. I felt really sad for all of the lives lost, and just I feel that there was a mass sadness during the pandemic and lockdown. And I feel the fear and sadness just kept growing and growing, but when normalcy kind of started to slightly come back, shops were opening up and there was talk of school coming, opening up in the fall, I realized how much society's mental health had been affected by the events and how really every single person was affected in a very similar way. And I think that brought us closer as a society, which I think is a really amazing thing.
No, because the numbers are still really high and I'm trying to limit my exposure because of work and basketball.
Obviously, I don't feel safe doing a lot of the things that I would usually going to school, but I think that the staff and administration in my school are doing a good job at keeping everything sanitized, keeping people socially distant, and making sure that we can minimize our chances at getting the virus.
Sadly, do not feel safe going to school every day. This is for my own personal reason. It's not because of any events that have occurred to me, but just events in the world that I know our world is capable of. I make up scenarios in my head. I'm afraid every day of something unexpected and unnatural happening to me or my loved ones. This really hasn't been caused by any specific events, but it has caused a constant thought in the back of my mind that questions if I truly am safe.
Yes, for the most part. Actually, yeah. I can't say I never don't feel safe.
Not really, because as I said, the numbers are really high and I don't want to get COVID.
I personally don't fear going out as much. Like I'm aware that there's like a chance that I could get it from going out, but I think that I'm responsible enough to keep my distance from people and wear my mask and stuff. Ever since I had the virus, I have been more cautious about it, but it's not a huge change, but I'm not too scared of it.
And no, for the same reasons, I don't feel safe going out in the world every day. I trust myself and I trust the people that I love, but I've not yet learned to trust our society. I don't trust what I can't control and what I know nothing about.
I've been watching a lot of TV shows and eating a lot.
Socializing with my friends through the phone or sometimes hanging out with them in person in small groups does help, like the stress or the negative emotions I might be feeling because of what's going on. But I don't think I'll ever truly be able to block out all of the negative things that are happening to people in this world.
Something I've been doing to cope with the stress of everything going on and just the natural stress that comes with life right now is self-care. I try to acknowledge myself more and be aware of my needs and advocating for what I need and knowing when I need to take a break.
No, I'm definitely scared. I don't know how our country's so, like, politically charged right now and, like, very on edge about everything, I think. And, like, everything's becoming a big deal because, like, there's so much going on. So I feel like that could definitely lead into something else. And I feel like there's more of a chance of things going bad than things going back to good.
I'm pretty hopeful that things are going to go back to normal because the vaccine came out and people are starting to take it seriously with the new president.
I'm afraid of the future, but I also see good in what's to come. I'm always afraid because I don't trust our world yet. I know what the bad is capable of, but I also know what the good is capable of. When our generation, the younger generation, meets an adult age, I think we will have changed the way humans instinctively think.
I think with all of the things that have been happening so far this year and last year, it's really hard to have faith that any good things might still be coming our way. But I feel like it's always good to have it in your mind that things will turn around.